Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our contact session for today, Advanced Engineering Mathematics, and we will be discussing the continuation of Laplace transform. So basically, last meeting we have already shown how the equation for the Laplace is derived, and now we will be considering yung tables na ginagamit in practice or in solutions wherein readily available yung conversion ng one equation to another. Okay? So we will be using tables to solve yung mga transformation natin into a function in terms of S. Okay? So at for this session, ito yung outline natin, very short outline lang. So we have yung presentation of the Laplace table, and then we have several solved examples. I think we have maybe 8 examples or 10. I'm not sure, pero to utilize yung mismong table, kaya medyo dinamihan ko yung example natin. Okay? So at the end of the session, hopefully these are the things that you will be able to have or to get. First is for me to demonstrate to you yung use ng Laplace transform table. And then next is to solve various problems to show how the table is significant in evaluating yung mga equations natin using Laplace transformation. Okay? So let's start. So yan. So, since table yung pinag-uusapan natin, yung mismong table na agad ang i-represent natin. So, basically, this is a table na varying ng, if you try to search it on Google, there are various kind ng table na to. Pero definitely, it shows you the same formulation. Minsan, mas madami lang yung laman niya kasi depende kapag nagsama-sama na yung functions natin. Pero presented in these slides are the basic values or basic functions na ginagamit. And then ito yung corresponding transformation niya dito sa table na to. Okay? And then itong column na to is basically just the restriction kung paano mo siya i-apply. No? So dapat yung value ng S mo are magsasatisfy dito sa mga values na to, so that we can use this transformation dun sa given natin. Okay? So, I will no longer discuss this one by one. As is siya na halimbawa nakakita ka ng function na ganito, ito yung magiging conversion niya. All you need to do is to identify what is the value of A, then substitute mo siya dito sa A na to. Okay? So, kaya mas madali siya. No? Kung madali yung previous lecture, mas madali yung ngayon kasi we are just relying on the transformation or the solution based from this table. Okay? So, shown here are the first 6 transformation, and the next slide is the other 6 na pwede natin gamitin. Okay? So, note lang natin yung mga restrictions natin when using this table. Okay? So, if ever na-violate siya, it means na hindi natin pwede gamitin yung value nitong nasa table na to. And ang solution natin should be the solution that we have presented last week or last time, no? Pero ang problema kasi noon, yung equation natin, once we integrate it, hindi siya magda-diverge. So, ibig sabihin, it will be non-existent or the limit does not exist dun sa mismong solution natin. So, definitely, there is no available transformation for that particular function once na-violate natin yung mga restriction na to. Okay? So, let's start using this table in solving examples with the basic one. Okay? So we have here, find the Laplace transform of the given function using the Laplace transform table. So we have the function t is equals to 5. And when we go back to the table or from our previous discussion, when we have a constant, ang transformation daw niya is 1 over x. Okay? Or kung ano yung value ng constant, that will be our value there. So, ibig sabihin dito for our first example, we can say na ito is parang Laplace transform nung 5, no? Okay? So, pwede natin yan i-represent as 5 times Laplace transform ng 1. Okay? And when we go back sa 1, ang Laplace transform ng 1 ay equivalent sa 1 over s. So this will be 5 times. Yung transformation niya ng 1 is 1 over S. So this will be 5 over S. So that will be our final answer na agad for this problem. Okay? Alright, so I hope malinaw sa atin to, no? Next, we have function natin is e raised to 2t. Okay? So going back to the table, maybe we should copy this one, no? Kasi kung babalik at babalik tayo dito. Copy ko lang. Okay, dito makikita natin, ito yung atin, no? And ang transformation niya is this one. Okay, so going back to sa question natin. Ito yung reference nating table. So we have here Laplace of e to t. Okay, so from table, we have ang Laplace daw ng e raised to 80 ay equal sa 1 over s minus a. So all we need to do is to identify yung value ni a. So here in our example, a is equals to 2. So therefore, ang transformation natin will be 1 minus s minus 2. So this will be our final answer na for this example. Okay? Next. Okay? So we have 5 times hyperbolic sine of 2t. Okay? So hindi natin na-derive yung hyperbolic sine. Pero thankfully, we have a table. So we have a reference kung ano yung value ng hyperbolic sine. So based from this table, we have ito, no? So let me identify this one. Ayan. So ito daw yung kanyang value, no? So ito will be Laplace transform of 5 sine h 2t. Lagyan ko ng quantity, no? So this can also be factored out yung 5 niya kasi may constant tayo based from our property. So Laplace ng sine h 2t. Okay? And then based from our equation dito, identify lang natin ulit yung value ng a natin. So this one, lagay ko lang dito sa baba, no? So we have here yung Laplace daw natin ng sine h 80 equivalent daw siya sa a over s squared minus a squared. Okay? So identify natin yung a. So a dito is equals to 2. So our solution will be 5 times yung transformation niya, which will be 2 over s squared minus 2 squared. Simplify our equation. We have 10 all over s squared minus 4. Okay? Then if we can factor out or we can simplify yung equation natin, this can be equal sa ano? So this is s minus 2 tsaka s plus 2. Okay? Or depende sa given or sa problem, no? Kung anong naka-state dun sa denominator niya, kung naka-factor out yung denominator or naka-expand yung mismong factor natin. So both answer is acceptable. Okay? Question muna before we go. Okay naman tayo dito sa example number 3. Okay, thank you. Right, next. We have here t squared minus 60 minus 3. So basically, simple lang yung yung equation natin, composed of several terms lang siya. So Ito can be Laplace transform of t squared minus 6t minus 3. And then as based from our property, we can separate them with each other. So this will be t squared minus 6. Ito, pina-factor out ko na, no? Of t. Then we have 3 Laplace of 1. Okay? Then going back to our table, ano yung kailangan natin? So we need yung first one. Ito, no? Magagamit natin yung first one natin. And then itong equation natin. Ayan. Okay? Ayan. So, yan yung gagamitin natin for this one. So, apply na lang natin directly. So, this will be t squared. So, definitely yung value ng r natin dito for the first one is 2. Yung value ng n is 2. So, n factorial. So, that is 2 factorial all over. That is n, 2 plus 1. Minus 6 times. Ito, ang n natin dito is 1. Okay? So, that is 1 factorial all over s 1 plus 1 minus 3 times. So, yung ano natin ng 1, so 1 over s. Okay? So, simplify lang natin. 2 factorial is 2 times 1. So, 2 over s cubed minus 1 factorial is 1 times 6. So, 6 over s squared minus this will be 3 over s. Okay? And then we can simplify this one by factoring out or kunin natin yung LCD niya which is s cubed. So we have 2 minus 6s minus 3s squared, or simplify natin, arrange lang natin yung numerator. We have negative 3s squared minus 6s plus 2 all over s cubed. So this will be our final answer for this problem. Okay? Question? Okay? Okay naman? Carry, no? Alright, so let's continue. Ayan, so two terms na parehas trigonometric. Okay? So, wala tayong worry dyan kasi meron tayong table para sa solution natin dyan. Okay? Ayan. So, we have yung sine natin. Then we have yung cosine natin. Okay? So, kung ngayon during our class, there's no problem kasi you can always go back to sa table para for reference, no? Pero during board exam, you need to be able to remember or memorize tong mga values na to. Kasi sa board exam, hindi binibigay yung table na to. Okay? So, yung challenge sa inyo in your part will be during the board exam. Pero I'm sure during your review sa mga review center, there will be a calculator technique on how to evaluate yung Laplace transform natin. Okay? Pero for now, fortunate kayo kasi you can always go back dito sa table na to look at para pag nagsosolve kayo, you can just plug in kung ano yung equals to sa table and then just identify what are the values of A do sa mga separate natin functions involved natin depending dun sa value dun sa table. Okay? So, let's continue. So we have Laplace of cosine 5t plus sine t 2t. Okay? So this can be Laplace of cosine 5t plus Laplace of sine 2t. Okay? So for cosine, we have s over s squared over 2. So ang a natin dito is 5. Dito ang a natin is 2. Okay? So applying the formula, so we have s over s squared plus 5 squared plus 2 over s squared plus 2 squared. Simplify, we have s over s squared plus 25 plus 2 over s squared plus 4. Okay? So, paano natin simplify ito? So, LCD lang. Okay? So, this will be S times S squared plus 4 plus 2 times S squared plus 25. Okay? So, more on algebra na lang to. I-distribute natin yung S. So, S cubed plus 4S plus 2S squared plus 50 all over. Ito pwede yung i-expand. So, pwedeng as is na lang. Plus 25 all over S squared plus 4. So, simplify nyo lang yung numerator. This will be S cubed plus 2S squared plus 4S plus 50 all over S squared plus 25 S squared plus 4. Okay? So, this will be our final answer for this particular example. Okay? Question again? Okay. Mr. Kaseya, may question?
Wala po,
Yes.
sir.
Mr. Reforma, okay tayo? Okay naman? Ayan. Oh, okay daw, sabi ni Mr. Reforma. Okay? Ayan. Para attentive lang tayo. Alright? So, ayan. Mr. Arbora, yes.
Sir, tatanong ko lang po kung yung kasunod po is S cube plus 4S po ba yun or 45 po?
4S. Teka, ano ba yung ating multiplier? 4S, 4S. Kasi ito ay
4S po.
S times 4. Okay? So,
Thank you po, sir.
okay. Pasensya na sa aking sulat, no? Alright. So, let's continue. Ayan. So, yan. Paano pag ganito? We have an exponential function times a trigonometric function. So, wag ka muna magpanic, no? Tingnan mo muna yung table. So, balik tayo doon sa table. So, sa first one, wala yun dito sa table natin. Pero, tingnan natin sa next table natin. We can see na yung formula I natin or depende kung anong function, no? So, itong formula lang to, yung remaining natin, itong apat na to, are for functions na merong exponential multiplied by a sign. Okay? So, kukunin lang natin tong table na to para ito yung i-utilize natin for the solution of the next problem. Okay? So, going back to sa ating problem. Ayan. So, we have exponential tsaka sign. So, titingnan lang natin to. So, definitely ito yun, no? Sana lahat nag-agree na ito yung value natin. Okay? So, our Laplace is e2t sin 3t. So, identify lang natin. We have yung value ng a natin. According dito, yung a is yung nasa raise sa exponential. So, that will be 2. And then, ang b natin is yung kasama sa loob ng function na sign. So, that is 3. Okay? So, apply lang natin yung kanyang substitution. So, that is b over s minus a squared plus b squared. Okay? So, substitute lang natin. So, that is 3 all over s minus 2 squared plus 3 squared. So, we have 3 all over. So, we can expand to. So, this will be s squared minus 4s plus 4 plus 9. So, i-simplify lang natin. This is 3 all over s squared minus 4s plus 13. So, this will be our final equation. Okay? All right? Okay. Next. I think we are down to last two na agad, no? Na yung ano natin. Okay? So, yeah. So, ayan. So, next is find the Laplace transform of the given function t times cosine or hyperbolic cosine of 3t. But the problem is, do sa table natin, there is no such formula, no? Para sa t times hyperbolic cosine. Okay? So, hindi natin magagamit to. So, hindi i-disregard ko to. So kaya in-indicate ko dito, we have an additional formula for that. So when we see a function na may t times a function ft or any function na mapa exponential siya, mapa trigonometric, okay? Yung formula daw niya will be or yung solution niya will be negative 1 raised to n. So yung n natin is kung ano yung naka-raise sa t. Okay? Multiplied by fn of s. So ano ibig sabihin ng fn of s? Yun yung nth derivative ng transform equation natin. Ibig sabihin, nth derivative kapag na-transform na natin si ft. Okay? So dito, try natin sa example natin. So yung example natin is Laplace of t cosine h3t. Okay? And alam natin dito yung n natin. So n is equals to 1. Okay? And then kung babalikan natin yung ating table, ano yung sa ating hyperbolic cosine? Hyperbolic cosine natin, ang formula niya is s over s squared. Ito, no? S squared plus a squared. So kailangan kunin natin yun para ma-transform natin si hyperbolic cosine. So si hyperbolic cosine equals sa s over s squared plus a squared. So let me check lang kung tama. Okay, so tama, no? S squared plus a squared. Okay? And then, ayun, transform muna natin si cosine of h. So, cosine h, hyperbolic cosine ni 3t. So, that will be s over s squared plus 3 squared. So, s is equals to s squared plus 9. Okay? So, ito yung ating f of s. Okay? Pero yung kailangan natin dito is kung ano yung solution natin. So, yung solution natin dito will be negative 1 raised to n. Ang n natin is yung identified natin. Okay? Na n, which is 1. Tapos f1s. Kung ano yung number dito, that is how many times kung ilang beses natin i-derive yung f of s natin. So dito naka f of 1 siya, f raised to 1. So ibig sabihin, we need to derive yung fs natin na nakuha once. Okay? So kung halimbawa yung n natin will be 2, that will be negative 1 raised to 2, f raised to 2. So naka-raise ng 2, so we need to derive yung function of s natin 2 times. Okay? Kaya nakalagay dito, nth derivative ng transform equation natin. Okay? So, to be able to use this equation or to substitute yung value dito, we need to derive to. Okay? So, nakikita natin we have a fraction na function. So, we can use yung ating quotient rule para sa derivative natin. Okay? So, maybe some student are familiar dun sa yung low high d, na formula, low high d minus high d low na formula. Pero ang gagamitin ko yung formula talaga niya, no? So v du minus u dv over v squared. Okay? So yung low, yung sinasabi kong low high d, so low derivative ng high minus high derivative nung low, tapos low squared, no? Yun yung familiar sa iba, no? Pero ito yung formula niya. So, identify natin to as u, and then ito yung ating v. Okay? So, ano yung magiging ano natin? So, if u is equals to s and v is equals to s squared plus 9, derive natin. So, this is du is equals to ds. Or kung in terms ni s tayo, that will be 1. Okay? Or 1 lang, huwag nang lagyan ng parenthesis. Okay? So, v dv is equals to 2s tapos plus 0 na. Okay? Then substitute natin. So, ang factor natin or ang derivative natin will be v, which is s squared plus 9 times yung ating du, which is 1, minus u dv, so s, times 2s all over yung value ng b natin, which is s squared plus 9. Okay? So simplify natin. This is s squared plus 9 minus 2s squared all over. This is s squared plus 9 squared. Okay? Simplify natin. That will be negative s squared plus 9 all over s squared plus 9 squared. Pero ito yung value ng ating f prime s. Okay? So, para to get our transformation, kailangan nakamultiply siya by negative 1. Okay? So, lagay ko na lang to para yun yung solution natin. So, we have negative 1 multiplied by yung negative s squared plus 9 natin all over s squared plus 9 squared. Okay? So, yung solution niya will be s squared minus 9 all over s squared plus 9 squared. Okay? So, if we cannot do anything about it or simplify it further, that will be our final answer na. Okay? Or I think we can ano pala no? We can simplify pa dito pala. So, yung numerator natin can be factored out as s plus a s plus 9 times s minus 9 over ano, we cannot pala kasi s squared pala yung nasa ilalim. So, that is the final answer na pala. Sorry. Sorry. Yan. Yeah, so this is our final answer na. Okay? So, question muna dito. So, we just need to add this formula dun sa table natin or dun sa list natin. Okay? All right. Okay tayo? Question, verification. All right, next is, ayan. So, we have different function. We have t squared sine 2t. So, yung n natin dito definitely will be equals to 2. So, yung solution natin will be negative 1 raised to 2 and then f2s. Okay? So, we need, ito will be positive 1 or 1 na lang times the second derivative ng transform equation natin or ayan, kailangan lang natin kunin yung second derivative niya. Okay? So, kunin daw natin yung Laplace transformation nung f of t natin. Yung f of t natin is ito. Okay, so Laplace transform nung ating sine 2t. Okay? So, that will be going back to the table. So, solution natin is a over s squared plus a squared. Okay? So, that is a. Ang a natin dito is a is equals to 2. So, a over s squared plus 2 squared. So, that will be 2 s squared plus 4. Okay? So, ito yung ating f of s. Okay? Kailangan natin ng second derivative ng f of s. So, perform natin yung first derivative. Okay? So, taking u is equals to 2, v is equals to s squared plus 4. So, this yung du natin will be 0 and dv natin is equals to 2s. Okay? So, yung f prime s natin without writing yung formula anymore. So, we have s squared plus 4 times 0 minus 2 times 2s all over s squared plus 4 squared. Okay? Simplify, this will be 0. So we have negative 4s all over s squared plus 4 squared. Okay? So ito yung ating first derivative. Kailangan natin second derivative. So another set of u is equals to negative 4s and v is equals to s squared plus 4 squared. So I hope you still remember your chain rule, no? So this is du is equals to negative 4 and then ang dv natin will be equals to 2 times s squared plus 4 times 2s. Okay? Simplify natin yung dv. This is 4s times s squared plus 4. Okay? Then substitute natin sa f double prime o second derivative natin. So u dv as v du, sorry. So v natin times du negative 4 minus u dv, so negative 4s times 4s s squared plus 4 all over yung ating squared ng v, so that is s squared plus 4 squared, and then i-squared natin siya again. Okay? So, let me continue this sa next page. Okay, so ito yung second derivative natin. So, we just need to simplify this one. So, we have negative 4 s squared plus 4 squared. And then ito will be, tama ba yung ano ko? 4s, okay. So 4s, negative 4, negative times negative 4s, positive 4s, times 4s, that is 16s squared. So, yun yung lagay natin. So, positive 16s squared, tapos s squared plus 4. Okay? All over, this is s squared plus 4. Lagay na natin to the fourth na. Okay? Then, simplify natin yung numerator. Expand natin. So, this will be s to the fourth plus 8s squared plus 16 plus, distribute natin 16s to the fourth plus 16 times 4 is how much? Is that 64? Yes. 64s squared. Okay? Over s squared plus 4 to the 4. Next, distribute yung 4, negative 4s to the fourth minus 8 times 4 is negative 32s squared minus 64. So plus 16s to the fourth plus 64s squared all over yung ating s squared plus 4 raised to 4. So, further natin. So, combine like terms. So, yung s to the fourth natin, we have positive 16 tsaka negative 4. So, matitira is 12s to the fourth. And then we have 64 and 32. Matitira is positive 32 s squared, and then minus 64. Okay, over s squared plus 4 to the fourth. Okay, so let's check if we have a factor nung ating numerator. If we have, so we have 12, 32, and negative 64. Ang factor niya is, okay, so paliitin na lang natin ito para hindi na tayo mag-copy on the other slide. Okay. Okay. Yan. So yung numerator, pwede siyang i-factor out as 3s, sorry. This can be 3s squared minus 4 times s squared plus 4. Okay? Over s squared plus 4 raised to 4. So makita natin pwede i-cancel yung isang sa numerator. So this is equals to 3s squared minus 4 all over s squared plus 4 cube. Okay? So this is our second derivative. And according dun sa ating equation dito, our answer will be equals to sa second derivative lang natin. So this particular answer will be our final answer for this problem. Okay? Question? So, kung may question ito, kung paano nakuha tong factor na to, you can use quadratic equation to get itong answer na to. Okay, yung factor natin. So, I leave it to you to check or verify how this particular factor is derived, no, or taken using quadratic equation. So, i-check nyo na lang. Alright? Question? Okay tayo? right? Okay. All right. So if no more question, this ends our lecture for today. So basically, very quick and very easy to understand lecture. Okay. So this will be included dun sa ating semifinals. All right. Okay.